Now, Daniel's timeline, 2013, fit in the midst of the week, fit the day and the hour that no man knoweth, happens to be the Feast of Trumpets, 2016, after the tribulation. We have a consistent, perfect match on all of this. All of this complements each other. None of it is contradictory. All the prophecy fell into place, all on its own. There was nothing forced in anywhere. Just like God plans it. If God plans it, if it's God's truth, everything falls into place. All we have to do is just stay out of the way and watch it happen. Now, the confirming witnesses we have Daniel's timeline, the 70 years Shavuot, or 70 years. We have the evidence of the Jubilee years calculations, counting both backwards and forwards. We went back 200 years. We even went back to the year 333 BC, all the way back to the second beast, which was Alexander the Great. We have the parable of the fig tree nation, which is 1947, the 47th commandment of Israel going forth as a nation again. That's astonishing. That's the only country in the whole world that became a nation again and had their same capital as they had. Never happened before in history ever. We have the ancient times revealing the future, the precise counting of days in 3.5 years, using the Hebrew the Hebrew calendar. That overlaying on our Gregorian calendar is astonishing that those things matched up like that. It's truly like a camel going through the eye of a needle. We have the 10th of Nisan events, including the water miracles, when the children brought in the lamb, the abominable lamb they brought in, the lamb with two horns, the dried up the Red Sea was not on the 10th, but it was a correlation of these events that began with this. We have Jordan River drying up on the 10th month of Nisan. Yeshua rode in on the 10th of Nisan, the lamb presented for inspection. We have the meaning of the Lord's feast, which you've covered pretty clearly, that the last three feasts, the fall feast, have not been fulfilled yet in a hundredfold measure. We have the vision of Revelation 12 that happens in 2013. And we just have asking, believing God to reveal the truth, which he will. It's just knock and you shall receive. And then the confirmation of the 120th Jubilee year. We've had all these witnesses, and all of these have complied with one another. Let's look at all 70 Shavuots, or we're going to look at all 70 years right now. Here's our prophetic baseline right here. We're going to lay out all 70 years from the commandment. Now, this is where a lot of folks miss it. It says the commandment went forth. So the commandment went forth in 1947. So the first Shavuot, or the first Feast of Weeks that would have shown up, would have been in 1948. We'll put 48 through here for the 10 years. This thing in blue is one of the sabbatical years. If you'll remember back, we showed how to count sabbatical years. There's 10, there's 20 years. There's our first Jubilee year we found. It's 30 years, 40, 50, 60. There's all 70 Feast of Weeks for all 70 Shavuots. Here's our 119th Jubilee year. And here's the one that has been shown to be our 120th Jubilee years in 2017. Now, if we'll count these years, beginning at 47, if you wanted to count them, we could. There's 10, there's 20, there's 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62. Right there. At the end of that, 62 years, just like it shows up here. 2010 begins the 7-year period right here. And coincidentally, this 7-week period right here happens to be a complete full sabbatical year set. Year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th year of the sabbatical year. And remember, that's the 49th year, and then the next year is the 50th year of the Jubilee. And this, like I said before, this 7-year period, prophetic week, just also happens to be a full sabbatical year set before the Jubilee. Now, and he says he'll confirm the covenant for the many in the midst of the week. He will cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease. Right there in the midst, 2013. And here's where we are right now. At the time this was being recorded, we're at 2005, even though I have given this to a few people way back in 2000. I just haven't felt like that it was time yet to bring it out, so it's time to be brought out. And we're not far away from the end of 62 years, as you can see. This date right here is exactly where we're at. We're in the third year, 1, 2, 3, past the fifth sabbatical of the 119th Jubilee year. In other words, the 119th Jubilee was here. We're into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sabbaticals have passed, and we're into the 1, 2, third year. So January of 2005 equals the third year past the fifth sabbatical of the 119th Jubilee year. Now here's the whole overlay, of everything. November 1947, the 70 years began. Goes all the way to here to the 70th Shavuot in 2017, when the Millennium Rest is in play. From 47, we have the 62 years, which begins the prophetic week. This is the prophetic week right here, the 7-year prophetic week. Here's the midst of the prophetic week. When the altar shuts down, the 1260 days that the woman fled starts. We have the seals, trumpets, and plagues, all that happening. We have the end of tribulation in the 45 days, which is the days of tribulation immediately following, the days immediately following tribulation, which by no coincidence happens to have the Feast of Trumpets, the last trump, fall in there. The Day of Atonement, Judgment, and the 120th Jubilee is sounded right here, and then the wedding feast right here on this Feast of Tabernacles. It's astonishing how God puts everything together. Now, trying to force all the prophecy pieces into place always leaves loose ends that never really fit. When God reveals the truth, all the pieces just fall into place all on their own. In Revelation 3:3, the Lord said, "Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee." He just said, if you watch, I will not come as a thief. If you watch, I will not come as a thief. Thanks for watching. January the 5th. This is where we are. We're in the third year past the fifth sabbatical of the 119th Jubilee year. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your time.